Hello everyone, we are with Kristina Katsanevas. Kristina Katsanevas, and I'm surprised how long it took us to sit down together.
So am I. I mean, a little disappointed, but that's okay. You can redeem yourself.
All the people that listen to this, what they do, they listen to, really successful entrepreneur, and they're like, how did they get there, right? And a lot of the people that listen to this is like, they find a way to humanize people that are successful.
Yeah.
This is why I started this. Because, I started with, I was lucky enough to cross paths with a few celebrities and this and that. So then the questions I would ask is yes, it's all well and good that you are now what you are, but where were you 10 years ago, 5 years ago, right? Because I know that I'll stop. Even my story, 5 years ago, if you would have asked me, to describe my present, I would have never tell you that that's what I was.
You wouldn't know that you've just been born.
Or 20 years ago, in Italy, my family, a little bit of, unbalanced and insecure family unit. Yeah. And it created the person I am today with the strengths, but also some of those strengths that translate into hypersensitive, I'm always aware, body language, tonality. So, it's a super weapon in sales, but in the day-to-day,
Hyper aware of your
of course, it brings the insecurities, I would say a moment it was about, well, why are you doing this? And, anxiety levels. So, it's everything. You get the good and the bad.
Understand. I am very perceptive of people. From growing up, I do have that hyper awareness of, what's coming or how to diffuse the situation or anything like that. And I've always loved people. I think from when I was 6 to when I was 17 finishing school, I'm pretty sure every report card said, Christina talks too much.
Really?
Yeah.
You're always very quiet around me.
I never would have.
You studying me or something?
I do. I will never go in guns blazing into any situation. So people might think I'm a bit quieter, but I'm analysing the situation. I'm analysing each person.
But just finish the analysing with me, enough, right?
Oh,
enough from analysing.
I don't know. It was actually at that dinner that I met you, really, where we just connected.
Well, so this is a good thing because I made it that night and it was a networking event. And entrepreneurs that listen, whenever you do a networking event, my suggestion will be zero in 1, 2, 3 max people, because if you just give away all your business cards, 50 business cards in one night, you have zero chance of doing no business, no relationship, no nothing. Yeah. Instead, you take a moment, go around the room. I'm not saying don't speak to people, but when you find a connection, just develop it. Yeah. And more, enough, that relationship, it needs to be enough that if you were to reach out, a few days later, they need to remember you.
They know who you are. They know what you do. I'm about connecting too. So I will often meet people, and this is a strength and a weakness because I watch a lot of the entrepreneurs out there networking, and they go in for the kill straight away. They build it, but then they will say, this is what I do, and I'm going to buy you.
Nobody cares. So after 6, no one cares. I promise.
Yeah, but I'm more connecting. I'm like, oh, okay, you do suits. Oh, my mate, he wants to build his own suit brand. You two should talk. And I start connecting people. And then sometimes in the end, I come out and go, oh, what did I do for me? But then it slowly compounds and it comes back.
It really does.
I do like the engagement.
I know one more person like you that connects people, and it's he's very successful. Yeah. And like you. But he has his own main business, but it's like you, so it gets involved in many different things. So you were like this, you were saying in school? Was that what you said?
No, I was a chatter in school, but I was never...
Were you cool in school?
I was sporty.
You were sporty?
I was a sporty girl.
Oh, when you swimming?
Swimming, yeah, swimming.
Stop
because
it.
I was so fit.
Did you see that I just dressed the
I did.
You did?
The coach. Yeah,
The
I saw
coach,
that,
that's
yeah.
super coach.
Yeah. Oh, I was.
And Elijah is like one of his like pupils right now that is competing like to the next Olympics.
Are you dressing him too?
Yeah, yeah.
Ultra big suit. Like big.
No, it's like, you know, it's like
the shoulders,
this,
mate. The shoulders. Is
Exactly.
yeah.
The guy is well fit.
This is why you need custom suits when you're like
So-
that. Because
Yeah,
straight.
like that. So
yeah,
swimmer. You were a swimmer?
I was a sporty girl, so I wouldn't say I was the most popular. I wouldn't say I was like overly picked on. I would stand up for myself though. So, and I'd stand up for my friends, or I'd stand up for anyone who I thought was being bullied, because that's a bugbear of mine. I'll tell you a funny story.
These are words of a cool person.
Oh, I'll tell you.
A cool person, especially a cool person in high school, would never say I was cool, but it would, that would be the answer.
I definitely wasn't the cool one, but I definitely learned quickly not to care. So year 8, you had friends, and then girls get bitchy.
Yeah.
Girls get bitchy, and I remember I had this friend, and then all of a sudden she decided.
Did you go to all high school? No. Okay.
In public. She decided she wasn't my friend anymore, and I was devastated.
Yeah.
And then I was really upset for a while. And then I remember, we were sort of still hanging out in the group, but we weren't best friends. But then she was being like just mean by doing, and I just had enough and just went. I stood up for myself, and you know what? I learned such a valuable lesson that day, because she never did it again. And she just left me alone. So, but back on my other story of when I was
Look, the other day I was talking to another entrepreneur, and I told her actually, I was like, listen, how can you expect new business if you're not asking for it? So I think what you just did that day, like with this quote unquote bully, she was upset with you, but you stood your grounds and you cannot ask what you wanted to receive. And I think that's a big lesson for a lot of people. They just don't ask. A lot of people, they don't say what they mean. They don't say what they feel. And one of the, and I feel like I do. So like I have the other spectrum. I'm doing too much. I feel whenever you do business and in life as well, it's good to voice what you want. If you don't voice it, it doesn't happen. And that day with your friend, you voiced it.
But there's an art to it. And I think I have mastered that art of communication, because I've made it where I get to today and I'm known as someone who is very transparent, will tell you exactly how it is. So and it's funny because I've been through companies where I've even been told once upon a time by senior leadership going, we really like you, you're really good. You're a little bit too, you got a little bit too much slang. So they're all from Sydney and everything, and he's this Queenslander, and we are a little bit different in Queensland. There's a little bit too much slang, and I was like, do I change? Like, should I watch what I do?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, long story short, I went to a 10 times bigger company, and they love it, and I thrived because I say how it is. I call anyone out, but I mean, it's back to the art of how you do it.
Yes.
It's not attacking. It's not aggressive. It's not narcissist. It's you take people on a journey. I'm constantly taking people on a journey, whether it's to change their ways of working, whether it's to bring a team all together, to create a bigger culture. But half the time, they don't even realize how many seeds I'm planting before we get to, now you need to use this new system. Now the team needs to come together like this. Here's your bigger vision. But it's the art of communicating by being very transparent, because I never want to be called out for being too praised or fake. A big thing for me.
Yeah.
So what you see is what you get, which is why we get along, right? Because like I'll call you out, you feel me, and off we go.
Tell me what you say on stage with the tea, because I missed it. You haven't sent me the video.
Oh my God.
So this is Christina speaking to 2,000 people in Los Angeles, right? Before the event, we were workshopping and be like,
oh, it was fantastic. And I did try to break the room up a bit, because you could see, JT's got a lot of interviews going around. He's on stage, he's beauty fest. I'm like, so I said to the MC, just, tweet this, do this. And
people don't listen to this.
And I'm like, and then anyway, so I get out and it was fun. JT, of course, called it out because I I think
what happened?
yeah, I flipped his
What-
script a
what
little
just
bit. I was
happened?
like, why'd you do that? And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, come on. Anyway, he rolled with it. It was great.
All right.
But we had a really good response trying to explain. He was trying to explain what I did, and I changed it away because I said, when I was speaking to those entrepreneurs in 2000, what do you do? And I help businesses to transform, and I do a lot of technology. I've been in technology for a while. Not so much fun, but really the crux of what I do is the people side, the delivery side. I reverse engineer any idea. And you tell me where you want to go, Bruno. I will reverse engineer it and get you there as quick as possible, and I'll find the right people. And I'm very good at getting all the egos in a room and making it all feel like they're the most important person in the room.
Okay.
Because my focus is on that end goal. But all these people are like, I'm the king, I'm the king, I'm the king. Yeah, great. Let them, don't care. My focus on the end goal as long as I get to where I need to go. And I think that's one of my superpowers.
Okay. So when did you learn that it was how to do that? So like how to make someone feel special? I guess like, like you're also a woman in business. So like how to make it so they swallow the pill. How do you get away with it? Like
How do I
that's
get
that's the question.
How do you get away? Look,
Because I can tell you how I get away with my stuff, and I think it's like,
you tell me how you get away with it, and I'll see it.
with my thing.
Yeah.
Well, the accent is gonna.
Yeah.
It's got a big thing.
Instant disarmor.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I tried to get rid of it for a while.
Good
And
accent.
I did. So a little bit from is like, if you can beat them, join them. So like I embrace the accent and yeah, that's it. So that's one thing, and then
And anyone should own that. Like if you want to be the queen of shoes, own it, right? If you want to always have a little thing in your pocket and that's your thing, own it.
pockets back.
Thank you.
but and so that's one. And then I think growing up, like now I'm aging, hopefully gracefully.
Yes.
But in my youth, like I was always catching the right type of attention. Let's say so. Like I grew up with that, like a good attention.
Yeah.
Everybody listens to me. No. Yeah, so you were talking about sorry.
So, well,
How
do
do
I
you get away with it?
That's a very interesting way to term it. How do I get away with it? I get away with it by being genuine. I genuinely get intrigued by people.
Okay.
I genuinely, authentically am actually challenged if I've got a hard case, how do I turn you around? I was at an event recently and I had someone coming up and they were ready to go me. And I'm like, okay. And, I don't elevate. I'm like, how do I disarm him? I stayed level. I stayed calm. I keep to the facts. As I said, I'm transparent. Keep to the facts. I keep repeating myself. I understand how you feel. I'm validating. This is one scenario.
This is like psychology stuff.
Well, exactly. I'm big on influence and persuasion. So what can I do to get you to where I need you to go, but you actually be enjoying the journey? It's not about coercion.
No.
It's about getting you. So
Learning them.
Yeah, I will find what your trigger and motivators are, and I'll use that to the best of my ability. Now, if I can't, then I am. This is what we're doing. This is where you've got to go. Sometimes you've got to suck it up to do it. And then it's just hardcore. And then maybe if, depending what the situation is, if I can reward them for having to do the shin business or they're angry or whatever, I will try. And in the end, I'm big on getting rid of the negativity and the toxicity.
So you told me, I want to learn this. So you said trigger and motivators. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So you need to find what people care about, and then you hinge on that.
Yeah.
To lead them.
Yeah. So some people are driven by kind. Some people are driven by money. Some people are driven by, and most, like I think majority of anyone I work with is, if I'm big on showing them, because lots of people are in the corporate world and they're working day to day and they've got to see the bigger picture. If they can't see, and they don't even know it half the time, but if you're showing them, look what you just achieved this value for the business, look at your value, you sitting at reception desk or whatever, I don't know people at reception, but you sitting here and answering the phone, look out the clients, you have compounded to this effort. If people understand and feel it, that they've got a purpose, what does everyone want? They want a purpose in life. They're spending day in, day out at work. You've got to feel fulfilled, because the last thing you want is people coming in and just coasting because that's gonna hit your business. It's gonna hit your bottom line. And it would still be like,
I think a rookie, this would be me, a rookie CEO, rookie director would say, will probably hinge on things that motivates themselves.
Correct.
Right? So I know that,
even just throw money at them and
it doesn't work.
it doesn't work.
Like,
I'm dealing
I
with
had
the
a-
CEO right now and they were throwing money and I'm like,
Yeah.
you're not to do it again until you consult me because
Okay.
you are wasting money.
Yeah.
Because you keep throwing money at these people. They're only crying to me about money. And I said, and that's not motivating them.
Yeah.
People think it is, but it's not.
So you're in the room. So you're in the room, you're talking, you let people talk and you see how they interact with each other. And I think part of the hyper sensibility, you also feel some of the dynamics.
I can feel the dynamics. I also need to work out the CEO. So an example, I worked with one business and the CEO is the problem. Now, how do I deal with that? Where I have to build enough rapport now with the CEO to start showing them. And all I keep doing is reiterating, here's their felt experience. So, because anything I say about maybe how I think the team dynamics might be going, there was an excuse. There's a reason. There's a justification.
Oh, that's the worst.
Right? Everything. And then it
There's always
gets to a
that
stage
reason.
where, as I said, if I try this tactic, and it's pulling up deaf ears, then I'm like, you're not listening to me.
Right.
And if you're not ready to listen to me, there's nothing more I can do.
So how do you actually deal with that? So let's say that because this relates to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So they are supposedly the expert in the field.
Yes.
They'll get engaged, and then the person that engaged them doesn't listen or doesn't. So how do you deal with that? So is it without like cutting the thing? Because I think one of my mistakes lately is that I have now had the fortune to deal with, to work with very big deals, entrepreneurs, celebrities, and things like that. So on a scale of business, like I'm both at the very top and at the very bottom, right? So whenever I encounter somebody that, I see that it'll be a very hard work for the both of us to be able to work it through, one of my first things is like, listen, I don't think I'm the person for you. Because in a very real way, I am not. Like in a very real way, I most likely need entry-level, quote-unquote, salesperson to deal with things that, I find it now a little bit harder to deal with. Not because I don't think I don't belong to that. It's just that at the level that I work at right now, like I don't work with recognition, or they don't listen to me. They don't believe that the value that I have to add, it's true.
Yeah.
So sometimes I just say that I'm like, I don't think I'm the right person for you. But how do we get around that?
Sometimes, well, I mean, one, it's good to have very good self-awareness on whether you and a client are a match, firstly, because you shouldn't be everything to everyone all the time. So that is, I think, good self-awareness. Now, if you do want the sale and everything and it isn't aligned, because people are different, and sometimes there's a personality clash where there's people you're just like, I get it, where I'm like, now, if I have to have that relationship, I put that aside, I bottle it up, and I do my thing. If I don't, if your value, let's word that a different way. If you are working with these sort of stakeholders and you need this box, then maybe you do look at hiring someone who can, because you can hire that type of person and deal with it. Now, if someone's back on, if they're not valuing what you're saying, and you do, let's go with the story, they're not valuing what you're saying, they're not listening, they're arguing with you that the pinstripe isn't the right pinstripe for them. Yeah. And you know that there's good connection there. Then I say, then you play the game, mate. And you look, well, like what I said, right? Egos, right?
Yeah.
Stroke it. If I need them on the table because my goal is here. If this guy, girl, person, business has the connections that you need, that will lead from you, play the game, get the right people in the room. If someone else in your team could network better with them and build the rapport with them, bring them in by your side. goal.
Yeah. So I think, goal oriented.
Unless there's a disrespect. If there's just a blatant disrespect, well, they're like narcissistic, unkind. No, nothing's worth it.
Yeah. No, I think goal oriented is probably like the best way to put it. So, to bring it back, it's literally instead of letting go, probably like the job of an entrepreneur is figuring out how you make it happen.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, they think, like he owns, I don't know, like a tire company, or he owns a doll manufacturing company, or he owns like an accounting firm. So they associate, a lot of people associate what the company does with the job of the director, which is really not it. I feel like the all-encompassing job of the CEO, the director, whatever, is to make things happen. No matter like, whether it's difficult for everyone else, but that's the job. It's like, I need to figure out how to make it happen.
Yeah.
So going back to that situation where you don't feel like it's a good match, if you want the goal achieved, I think in my specific experience, putting the ego aside, it really helps. So as I told you before, like, even though I am now working in bigger deals, bigger projects, and bigger everything, whenever I sit down one-on-one with somebody in that room, I kind of like remove that ego. So that's what I'm doing right now. Removing the ego and take it for what it is. It's like, like it's a conversation you're having with that person. And if the goal is honest about to help them, if that's the goal, it's like, I know you need me. I know you need me. But, like if the goal is like, I want to help you and I need to help you and I know that you need me, whether you want it or not, I'll get there. And then I'll just remove the ego out of the equation and I'll help them. I'll lead them to that goal. So that's, I'm taking it out of your book, that you're leading people because always another care.
And as long as you're clear on let's go back to the company level, your vision, your mission, then, the ego doesn't matter. You're here to make people feel confident in what they're wearing and thrive in whatever environment they're in so that they look their best in a tailored suit and not something that's just off the rack and that's high quality. And, you're empowering people and you don't even know that.
I didn't know that was my thing until like, not recently, but like, I honest to God, 5 years ago, I thought that was just making service.
Exactly. See, and how it shifts.
And that shifted completely. And now it's like, it's about giving confidence and making people feel powerful.
Because imagine you make this person feel super confident and they're not Vince Vaughn and they're not Tonino.
Yeah.
they're not these people, but they are helping people like their own community. So if you empower them, they now help more people. Those people that they've just helped to help it, like the knock-on effect.
Yeah. I feel like it's almost like that. Like I stand for the kind of like the everyday person, right? Like we were just talking with Angela yesterday, and we were talking about how like our models make the suits look beautiful and amazing. But what I think it's a good driver is that they see me wearing them, and I'm like, I'm not a model, but like I make it look good. No, like it's a everyday. It is about everyday people feeling the best, and then really adding value to their community or to their company or to their life. So that's what it is.
And
that's like because like the story of this relationship is like that one dinner, then we became kind of besties, live on the spot. But more than besties, neighbors.
Yeah, we're neighbors.
We're neighbors.
I mean, you're in Australia now, it's neighbors.
So we became neighbors.
We have everything. That night.
That night we became neighbors. And then, like a couple of events, we went to America together. And so, but what's there? Yeah, like I've
been to lunch.
And
electric energy. I do remember.
What is it about me? Also, why did you say yes to this podcast?
Because I wanted.
You didn't know.
I wanted to have a great conversation. I love a chat. I wanted to know where to go. I thought we'd have a great laugh, which we are. I do enjoy a good laugh. So when I do remember first meeting you, it was at one of those business events. And do you know what? That was
It was the first time
the
for
first
me, I
time.
think.
Yeah.
Well, but for me, like that night, what I saw was like that transparency. So that's probably the one thing that I connected with is the transparency. So no matter the event, the business event that you go to, I think a lot of people, they think, oh, everybody that goes is amazing. And it is true in a way, because obviously like the people that take the time to develop themselves, they're obviously working on themselves.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's like the crowd, and then there's like the people that you connect with.
Yeah.
So I think for me, that was it. That was the being like, I guess, a little bit more like honest and
I just think there was, I mean, we were, I don't know if I
authentic.
it was authentic.
I was trying to find the word authentic.
I think from the start, as soon as we met, we started laughing. I think I paid you out, or we have a joke. I'm pretty sure I gave you shit about something, and then you gave it straight back, and I'm like, we were on. So I don't know. Sometimes,
Because there are a lot of people that were like, pleasantries, and let me tell me about your business.
and I was like that with certain people, right?
Yeah.
With
And I
some
was like,
people, some people.
I didn't even know what you were doing.
Yeah, some people, like, how did you even sink in?
No bullying.
I'm like, we broke you.
They really let anyone in this room.
Yeah, here I am talking to you. It's a podcast. Sometimes you really connect with people and you know that you're going to go places, and sometimes it's a place of pleasantry. Again, it's about perception with people. And I am all for not everyone needs to be best friends with everyone. And people who try that and think they are, it's authentic, right? Because you're like,
And now, from that thing, now you're gonna help me with my charity.
yes, because we're dancing with the CEOs. And,
I am.
well, I am on the journey.
Okay.
So it is we.
So it is we. Okay, yeah.
Power panels, we're looking for people who want to support. I love what you're doing it for women's legal services, because that is a big problem in society today, and they need all the help they can get, just to know that there's support out there, because when you're in that sort of situation, it gets very dark and it gets very isolated.
I wasn't aware, and I feel like the reason why I'm doing it, like the main reason why I'm doing the supporting women legal services Queensland, is because there is, if I didn't know about it, I feel like there's a problem with knowing about the issue. So, for example, I didn't know that, women that were victim of escape in the middle of the night with the kids or by themselves had not even a single dollar to the name, and having to sleep. Yes. Places like Women Legal Services, they give them a roof and they give them the first, aid that they need. And I feel like sad about saying it, but like I didn't know that was even so. And I think because I felt so bad about it, I was like, no, like I definitely want to be part of this, and I definitely want to make a big difference. So it's been, from a charity perspective, it's been for me like a journey. Ever since I started my business, I always wanted to get involved with something in a more active way, not just donation left and right. So yeah, so that's why I will be dancing in May.
I can't
find
find the leotard.
1,000 people. There's gonna be, it's pretty good. Like I had my first session with my choreographer last week, and she's like someone that I knew from my days of social dancing 15 years ago. So we're talking like a lifetime ago, like a teenager's life ago, right? So it's like it's a long time. It's a long time, right? And then
maths is a bit off, but that's all right.
So we did like a little bit of dancing together, like just to warm up. And then I straight away did something without telling her, like I did like a lift. Okay. And she was like, "Oh,
where are
so you're ready? You're ready?" I was like, "Yeah, I remember a couple of things."
Karina was always
yeah, I was ready. So she got excited. She was like, "Oh, okay. So then we can definitely work on some stuff."
Yeah.
Yeah,
took it to the next level. Look, I can't wait. The fact that in your teenage days you were dancing for a great cause, I'm here to help any way I can. Like we do our power lunches, any way we can get donations.
Yeah.
Anyone to.
And sometimes donations, especially for the people that are listening, it's not money. It's like donate something, a survey's time, or lunch, like you said, like things like that.
To be honest, most of the time, to get the most value and to help the most people, it is giving, do you own a business out there that you could offer, I don't know, like some social media to?
Yeah.
There's the way social media has been with Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'm about transformation in business and everything. I see the resistance when you're getting people to change with how life's going. If you do not move with the way life change, business is going, you get left behind.
Yeah.
Now, as uncomfortable as it is, and I have transitioned so many people through changes in their business, and I can see the discomfort, and I've always done it this way, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, my whole job is to get them over that hump. And then this personal branding and everything came along, and I'm like, I'm a very personal person. I don't want to put my personal stuff out there. So I've worked out a way to, which is nothing new, but just how I can get more comfortable on it. And then I've been working on it. I, to be honest, hate personal branding, but it's a necessity. You have to do it. If you want to move into the future, you should do it. So I've sat on that journey. Yes, we were in LA.
Well, people don't know what personal branding is, right? Yeah. And you give me, I want to hear what you think it is. But if literally, this is off the cuff, like I haven't thought about it, but I think if I had to give a definition of it, it is, personal branding is what makes people trust you and want to do business with you.
It's your personal brand, and I'm not talking about it's what is your perception. You want others out there that will either give you your credibility, your authority, and tell people authentically, because everyone is authentically different. Whether whatever you're into, you're authentically different. Everyone hones in on something else that someone else will bond to, or you could help, or you can connect. Humans are connectors. We are. And if we're not connected, usually that's when people spiral into drugs, depression, everything, because they're actually not connected to anyone. Now, I'm not saying social media connects people. You've got to do your human thing. Yeah. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. But as we're talking about personal branding on social media. And so it's about getting, what is the perception? Does it not fake? What is the perception of you? And it doesn't have to be all your warts and all. Not everyone needs to know every single war story you've gone through, but if it's your story, if it's what's going to bond you to people, if it's what's your connection, if it's what's going to help people, if it's going to get you sales, if it's going to build your company, whatever the purpose of the vehicle of social media is for you, it's a vehicle, that's how you use it. So I work on that.
And personal branding is also, it's your successes in your company, the successes of your client stories, like, what are you doing for other people? Like, what is your value?
That's very important.
Right? In my books, it's also like the way that you present yourself. I feel like, especially if you're looking for that authority and for that feeling of it, it's not about, dressing to impress every single time, but it's about whenever is the occasion rises, you can do it. And if you are, selling, if you are a surf instructor, or in a very specific case, like you are the coach of the Australian team of streaming, there will be events and occasions where you need to rise to the occasion and show your authority, show what you're doing, show that you know what you're talking about. Yeah. And sometimes it's about, being able to do that and represent yourself in the best way possible. So for me, that representing you in the best way possible, it is personal branding for me.
Yeah, representing best way possible, but also it is very filtered online. So I think when people actually get a bit more real, and I'm not talking about showing you, sitting on the couch or taking garbage out or something, but once you get a bit more real and people feel like, oh, I can relate to you. I can relate to your clients. So I could do that, and people see your personality. So I'm not everyone's cup of tea. People are just always, a bundle of joy, or they don't say it because they don't want to offend anyone. Anyway, so yes, being authentic. But you need to say who you are so people know. Even people I deal with on career advisory, right? I'm trying to get them and showing their transferable skills. Or if you're hiring someone, you can't tell me you don't. You go on their LinkedIn, you go on their Instagram, can you see it? What are they posting? Are they out partying? If you've got a big job or something, are they out drinking? Is every photo a picture of them without?
I don't understand that part. Like, the social media to show, yourself partying, I'm like,
Well,
come on.
what are we now?
Even when I was 25, I wasn't posting that. I promise. Like I was posting like trouble, like I was traveling America. I was posting about, maybe like a gathering, but it wasn't like, oh, let me show you like how hard can I be partying, which is
Some people that's all they do.
it's a
But
thing.
you just got to think about your image because, and I say that to my kids and everything. They're already young, but I said everything that goes out there is out there. It's out
That's
there.
it. Forever.
It's forever. It doesn't matter if you delete it. It doesn't matter. It is out there. They can get it back. So you've got to be super careful. So on the personal branding and circling back is that, yes, when we're in
You're
LA,
like a shadow. If you're representing yourself in a room of other entrepreneurs, so like we're talking about, Chamber of Commerce, networking events, or anything like that on a local scale, or if you are even worse, jumping on stage and speaking to a bunch of people, it doesn't matter that you don't care about personal branding. Perception in those scenarios is everything. You only have 7 seconds to make an impression. People will decide if they want to give you money within those 7 seconds. So it is literally that the person that fights it is the person that don't get it.
yeah, and it can be taught. That's what
It can
people
be
need
taught.
to know, that they can learn how to breed it. And back on with the personal branding, because I disliked it so much, but then I am big on we got to move. Like if you want to move with the times, you've got to keep on it. So I got on the bandwagon. Now I'm surrounding myself with some of the best, and I'm starting my own personal branding company because I did win the award in LA for best
did?
social media out of the whole event.
2,000 people.
That was a pretty big feat.
International, like 2,000.
And the 6-0, I thought I'll surround myself, and I'm not saying I'm the expert by any means, but my whole life is about surrounding myself with the right people. I get the smarts, I get the SMEs, I get the experts, I get myself around them, and then I bring them together and go, right, let's make it easier for people because it's uncomfortable, and I need to get you through that discomfort before it just becomes part of your habitual ways of working and your day-to-day. And it's not about thinking, oh, I don't want that. If you don't want it online, don't put it online. That's what I struggled with to start with. I'm like, oh, you don't have to put that online. Say in your niche of what you want.
of course.
You don't have to put you baking your leg.
I hate it. I was the same. Like I think I had another social media expert like on the show,
Cheating on me.
and she has been kind of like pushing me to do that. Like nobody knows. Like I have a family, a young family. I have like little kids, and they're like put it out there, post about this, post about that. But for me, posting about like for example, yesterday or the day before we went to Wet n Wild.
Fun.
Gorgeous, fun, beautiful afternoon. I have very special memories with my daughters. Very special that I was telling my wife, I was like, these are the moments I will always remember. That random afternoon, I went wild, and while I was doing the thing, right?
Sheer joy.
And and then I was like, I don't want to post that. I don't care. Like I don't care that my audience doesn't know about that part of me, but because that will feel unauthentic to me to post it, right? So that's how I am in general. So like I'm a little bit more private, like for my family part of it. But other than that, you have all of it.
You can have the rest of you.
You can have all of it. Like like I can talk on stage, I can do whatever. I can, no problem, right?
Yeah. No, but that's your optics and that's your choice. And I'm very similar. Like there's people who want to put it all out there because they're like, I'm showing all of me. And I'm like, well, that's not whatever you want. You're about the fashion. You're about, the confidence, but your private life, like, and depending what you want, your kids.
Yeah. So personal branding, again, it doesn't have to be about everything. Personal branding, I feel like that the more that we talk about it, it's about what you want for people to associate you with. Correct. What do you want for people to think about whenever they see you, right? Like, or whenever they think of you. So if I, and that's when I told you before, was like, I think like representing yourself makes sense. If you are a leader if you are in your industry, if you're you educate people and you want that authority, you sometimes you cannot present yourself in a pajama. Like, I mean, and if you can manage to do that because that's your brand, that's also okay, right? But I just come from like that old school gentleman Italian culture, and I'm like, like put yourself together, like present yourself in a powerful way, and people will listen. So like that will be the authority part of like how you represent yourself. But then you also cannot be. You need to have value to add. Like you need to genuinely like give value to people, and that's when personal. You go from I'm posting
a personal
randomly
account to personal branding.
it's a personal brand. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. So there's personal accounts. Do what you like. If you want social media for a personal account, then all systems go. Do whatever you like. If you're looking to do personal branding, different. Yeah, I agree. And then you choose your strategy. You choose what you want people to perceive you as. What do you want to put out there? Why are you using social media? What is the vehicle for? If it is for your personal site, then this conversation's irrelevant. If it's for your business, for your career, you get strategic with why and what you're doing. When I say strategic too, I don't want to construe it to being like not authentic.
I understand it. I think you need to be strategic. Yeah. Like, because at the end of the day, you're playing the game. Yes. I feel like you either decide to play the game or not, and when that's right. And then whenever like 30 years ago, like it was, you get a uni degree and you work there and you have success and everything. And that's right. But now it's very different. Like now, social media, the way that it's being used, you kind of have to play the game and be at your best in all places, public places.
Well, it's technology, right? Technology is fast-tracked. If you look at the charts of technology and then productivity and everything with business, it is on a trajectory that's never been seen before.
No.
So if you're not even remotely at this,
not even
going to get your foot in on something like social media, then AI and everything else with tech in the health industry and tech in mining and tech and everything, it's going to explode. And I see it a lot especially with what I do, predominantly where people go, I've always done it this way and I know best. And they're so scared to lose their job because we're trying to bring in more technology.
Yeah.
But my whole goal, and sometimes people get left behind, is if you jump on this train with me and we will train you up, then your skill set will diverse and you will get a different role, maybe not the same role, but a different role, but you will have a job. But then there's people who blatantly refuse to put their foot in. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, they don't end up with a job once the transformation happens because they weren't even willing to open. So I guess on a totally different random note there is just be open to change and see where things are going. And it can feel a bit scary, but just take baby steps and keep going, because if you move with it, there's other things out there, but you do need to try.
So what would you say to a business that refuses to be on social media?
Yes, it's suicide. I mean, I couldn't think of a business that doesn't need to be, just even if it's not exciting. I mean, I don't work in that many exciting industries, some I do. But you just get on it and get on board, take the baby steps, set up a strategy. And I'm all about taking the guesswork away. Set up a 12-week plan, do a couple of days of content shooting, and get someone to edit it for you, and then just get it posted. And then set and forget, just for your first, just to get the training wheels on.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like it is in social media, you just have to accept that people will think that your store, quote unquote, your business is closed if you're not on social media. It's almost like, I'm not on social media, okay, door shut. I'm on social media, open doors.
Yeah, I just think it's like moving with the times, right? It's like almost, there's companies out there that don't even have websites. But you imagine when www came in and people were like, oh, hang on, I'm in Yellow Pages. They're going to get to a website. Now, they've all gone websites, and now it's your social media. You have to move with the times. Ask your kids if you don't know, ask Put it out there. There are so many forums out there. It's just get on it.
So, and what do you say to the business that doesn't believe in personal branding? Yeah, I'm going to change your mind.
How would I change their mind? I would say, sell me your business. And then they could talk, and then I'd be like, okay, I'll go along. Where's the proof? Like our optics. Where's your competitor? I'd go into their competitors. What is your competitor doing? Is their competitors online? Like, if you don't, I would ask them, what do they do when they're looking at something to buy? Do they go online? Do they check anything out? Like, maybe they don't. If I'm talking, it depends who I'm talking to. That's a real, like, if I'm talking to a 7-year-old.
We're not talking to 7.
Yeah, if I'm talking to like someone who's about to retire, if I'm talking to anyone younger, then
in the 40s.
Yeah, well, then
30s.
Yeah, okay. Then I'm definitely getting on the bandwagon. I will take the Band-Aid off for them slowly.
Yeah.
And just explain to them that I'm speaking with my cousin's very successful businessman in the lighting industry. And he said, it's amazing, he's been in it for 20, 30 years or whatever. And he said, back in the day, this is who I hired. And he goes, now my resources is 60% marketing people because I need them online. So he goes, I don't get it. So again, hire people who know. And the kids nowadays, I say kids, early 20s, anyone out of uni, like they're good at it. Just that's who you need to hire. If you don't know, hire someone.
I say kids too. Like the other day I was talking to somebody and I was like, I mean like a 20-year-old.
Yeah, we actually read adults.
Adults, but it's kids to us with adults. They're like, oh, so cute. You're doing social media.
But they are.
But they're very smart. They're very smart.
They're talented. They work in it. They're quite.
I was a 20-year-old once, and I was very talented.
Me too.
I was a talented salesperson.
So I did sales, and I did a lot of events.
Door to door. I was a door to door at some point. At some point, I did a door to door.
Have you done gym sales? That is on the phone. I worked for Virgin, so Richard Branson. 12-hour days on the last day of the month. You're doing 12-hour days, whether you hit your budget or not. You're on the phone. You are calling every single person that possibly you could. And you're tracking to those numbers. So being down that, I didn't mind it. I learned a lot.
I'd say, for me, a way for me to tell the people that work with me in terms of personal branding, it is get clear on the goals and get clear on what you want the output to be. Yeah. What kind of image you want for people to get cross with whenever they jump, either on social media or in person. So again, in person, it's like local events, networking, chamber of commerce, like all of that. There's all online. So, the way that you portray yourself, like in social media, you're talking to a camera, you're trying to be educating, authoritative, you're trying to sell, or in front of like a room of like between 100 and 2,000, 3,000 people. What kind of image, how do you want to be associated with? What terms you want to be associated with? If it is confidence, power, strength, that's when you need a personal image and something that people can relate to, people understand, and sometimes that involve like something around colors, fit, style, like all of that stuff. So,
do you find people come to you and say, like, brand me? Look at me, and they want you to read them and go, what looks good for me?
Yeah, I think more than brand me, I'll ask them the questions like, what is your brand? Like, what are you trying to look like? Sorry?
And then they're
like, what? What are you talking about? And I'm like, okay, tell me your brand colors. Let's start from there.
Okay.
So it's like, because every color's got a meaning behind it. You got the colors that provoke certain emotions, and that's when, it's very important, especially if you're a public figure, to like represent yourself in the specific colors. So I'd
like to learn more on that.
Yeah.
Well, I do like the do you
well, today you done the black and white. I think it was neutral. Like you wanted to did you know the core or something?
I did not.
I think why it's one of those things that's like everyone is afraid of wearing because it attracts up a lot of attention.
I think what? Interesting.
Yeah, it does. So like the busy patterns and the flowers, especially for women. sometimes within the business world, it portrays a wrong image because there's a lot of women that are all about embracing femininity, and I'm all for it. But this is not a Sunday coffee shop. We are in business, and there's certain things that men respond to. And if you show up in a flowery dress and you're all pretty, they will never listen to you for what you have to say.
Yes.
They'll look at you,
Yeah.
but they'll never have to listen to you. So I think because, like especially this year, we've worked with a lot of women entrepreneurs. I feel like colors is a big thing. And one of the biggest problems that I have from women was, but I am feminine and I do want to embrace my femininity. And I say, okay, let's do it through colors.
Yeah.
Let's not do it through the item. I don't want you to wear like a beautiful like sundress, because this is not the place.
Yeah. It depends where you wear and what you're doing.
Yes.
How do you approach that then if they're coming in and they're like maybe larger than life, but they're trying to portray, as you could see because of your experience, a different brand? You're like, I think this color would.
Oh,
Like if you try
yeah.
that.
They'll
Yeah,
say
'cause
something
it's
like
your brand, so-
highlighted yellow or something, and I'll be like, oh, I don't know. Yeah,
It's your brand.
I
So if they
think-
come out looking like
yeah,
flower. And
yeah. I think there's certain things that people. There's two things. One thing is, what are the colors that actually look good on you, like meaning skin tone and what's looking on your complexion. So what does work with it, right? So you have like the color wheels, you have the cool tones, the warm tones. What is it that looks good on you specifically?
good on me?
And then from there you have how do we match or complement your brand, your personal brand to it, right? So and that's how I say, like you have like strong personality, vibrant personality. Let's show it through colors. Sometimes it's not even like the full colors. It's about maybe like you have a neutral, especially within the tailoring world, you want to have like things that you can mix and match with multiple things. So the actual quote unquote canvas, meaning let's say for me it will be the suit. The suit is the canvas, and then the brand colors or like pop of personality, they'll come through details. So there'll be like the shirt, the watch, the socks, like I could put this suit and make it look like I'm a banker, like, like a stripe, a navy pin stripe, and I look like a banker, or I look like an artist today.
Yeah.
So it's about, so for me, you have the suits is your canvas, right? Or like jacket, trouser, or jacket and skirt. So you have the main component of your outfit needs to be the canvas. And then the details is what brings your personal branding out. That would be my suggestion. So for you, for example, like a white suit, it's a neutral color.
Yeah.
You can wear with a million different colors, different things. You have your white, and also believe it or not, for women, red is another fairly neutral color. So even if you want that purple color, like the red is another one that's like, red looks good on most people. And it's like, I can't remember what they call it, but it's like the foreign color theory.
Oh, yeah.
So red's such a powerful, strong color that it shouldn't look good on anyone, but it does. It's a very interesting concept.
I like
It's like something that you don't expect.
I should get a color wheel from you. So when I do some career advisory, I work with a lot of women.
Yeah.
And I'm big on dress for where you want to be, not where you are right now.
That's
And so, because a lot of women might be at this level and they're just in old pants, or they're not thinking about their belly brushing
Yeah.
and just things like that. I like dress for where you want to be, not for where you are right now. So, and I've always done that. I always liked dressing and feeling nice because it gives me confidence. It means I perform better. I'm able to talk to more people because I feel like I belong rather than being down here. So, and a lot of women have no idea. Actually, what to do, how to even accessorize. Like you could just accessorize, right, if you want. Or even what.
Why do you think that happens?
Because they're not. everyone's into
Don't put their attention on it.
they don't put they're not, that's not their,
And they don't know that that's a secret sauce sometimes.
they're not, that's not their strength, or they just instantly go, oh, that's not me, or I don't like shopping.
You know what I have? It's like with some of the people that I look after, they're like, well, but it is for work. And I was like, well, what? Don't you
More than
want to
you're
feel
at
like
home.
you're most...
Yeah.
Exactly. Don't you want to feel like your most competent and strong version of yourself when you are at work? And
Yes.
but there's that concept, and I feel like it goes on the culture though, like because in Italy, for example, like in school we don't have uniforms, so we like show up.
Yeah.
So we have a whole journey as teenagers or whatever. I know that I experimented so much. So like it's like you find your footing
interesting,
when you're
isn't
very
it?
young.
Yeah.
And instead here in Australia, like a lot of it, it's like uniforms. Or,
Shoes.
that's right.
It's
So yeah. So the only times that you get to experiment is like when you go out, I don't know, for like a movie or something. You go to a shopping center, and then you don't have enough time to experiment. So experimentation is actually it's a key factor in fashion and personal branding. I think. When was the last time that you were experimenting on something?
Clothes.
Yeah.
Oh, I liked, but you mean different?
I mean something that's like, out of your comfort zone now.
Okay, so what's something I will call this experiment, you may not. And do you know what's so funny?
Tell me
So
this.
funny is because you come into the story. I bought a shorts suit.
That's gorgeous.
Right.
I like it.
I bought a short suit.
Yeah. It's really cool.
And I hadn't bought one before, but I was on a mission. And so I wore it, and it had the vest,
Very cool.
right?
Love it.
And it was actually a gorgeous suit.
I'm loving what you say.
And then I was excited because I'm like, that's what I have in my head. Tried it, bought it, spoke to you about the scenario in which I was going to wear the entire suit. And you said no. And I'm like, what?
I love it.
No, it doesn't. But the point of the story is.
You must have said something different.
No. So the scenario, and you said not appropriate for that.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I think that's a big thing.
Yeah,
You
so
gotta know when it's appropriate.
the right event.
Exactly.
So the event I had bought it for, you said no. And I listened. So
Good.
I'm a very coachable person. I
You're coachable.
listened and I said, okay, went out and bought a completely different outfit, which I think was actually 10
The
times
best.
better.
There you go.
But,
Love it.
I felt powerful in it and everything. But I wore the short suit to a different work scenario. I got so many compliments. Everyone's like, oh my God, I've been thinking about short suits. Like, that's amazing. And I empowered, if not another group of women to go, oh, hang on a minute. I've thought about it, never done it. So
I do those ones.
they're,
Just so you know.
pardon?
We do the shorts.
You do the shorts?
Yeah.
And
They look
you
so
know what?
cool.
I felt
Shani rocks them. Like she wears them every now and then.
I felt good in it, and it was exciting, but in the right scenario, I guess is where. So yes, I experimented. I got it wrong on what I thought I was going to wear it for, but wore it for a different scenario and pulled it off. And there's been others where I have been told legit that I failed, Bruno, and I've rocked up to something, and he's like,
What were you thinking?
"What were you thinking?" And I'm like, "Fail? Okay, listen."
Okay, good.
No.
So beside empowering women wearing short suits, so who do you help in the world, like of entrepreneurs? Tell me who do you help first, and then we'll tell people how to find you.
Okay. I help businesses and individuals in delivering their why. So whether you're a business and you're looking and you're not sure of your gaps, you're wanting to scale, you're not sure on technology, I'm really good at finding the gaps, maybe reverse engineering, and even individuals come to me one-on-one sometimes and I will coach them. Well, not coach them, I advise them. I'll do career advisory, and we would do sessions to go, how do you negotiate the work you want? How do you get out of a toxic work environment? Do you know so many people are trapped? And you talk about DV. There is the very real and unspoken toxicity of people who stay in bad work relationships for way too long, and it destroys their self-confidence. And so I help them actually see that there is a bigger world out there and how to transfer their current skills to new skills.
So how do they get in contact?
How do you get in contact with me? Social media, Instagram is probably my biggest one. So
cool.
if you message me on social media, Kristina Katsanevas.
Yeah, we should check
Push
that.
to Instagram, you can go on my website and all my details are there, which I have got these links to, so you can do KKATSA, KKATSA.
Love it. I like that one. Katsa.
Yeah, KKATSA. That's very good.
It's pretty cool. I really enjoyed talking to you about personal branding today. I think a lot of people out there, they'll get a lot of value out of understanding what personal branding is. Again, it's about more facet. What do you want for people to see about you? What do you want for, how do you want to be perceived? And I think that is very important. Then we talked about, like the social media presence. And I think it's a big one for people like to get in line with the times and understand, like, there's the time to get in there. And then, we talked about millennial love.
Communicating and dealing
Millennial communication. Just get on that. Get on board of the train. But yeah, thank you so much, Kristina, for being with us today.